Hi, Claire and Kevin. I've got a story to share with you about Thursday night. Mom and I went to a fundraiser for Friends United for Juvenile Diabetes. It was hosted by a friend of mine, Mike Zucker, and his wife, Franti. And I need to mention them in the event just because without them hosting and without us attending, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. It's a really special story. Michael Franti was the performer. And just so you know, here's a clip of what his music was like that night.
Tell me how you feeling.
Hopefully from the pictures you can see it was a small venue. Mom and I were standing about 3 people deep from the stage and right in the middle of it. Very cool. And all of a sudden I hear someone right next to me turn around and say, "Mark, is that you?" And I look over and it's my boss's wife, Rachel. And she said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, I know Mike Zucker. What are you doing here?" And she goes, "Well, I love Michael Franti. He's on my ringtone even." Here's a picture of Rachel. The music was great. The atmosphere was awesome. It was a really good cause, lots of fun. And then Michael took a break from singing and he started to talk about his family. I quickly got out my phone so I could capture this video. Not really sure what the story was going to be like, but I got it just after he started. He begins starting to describe his mom, and then it goes from there. You can hear the rest of it, so take a listen.
Is Irish, French, and German. And my birth father is African American and Seminole Indian. And when I was born, my mother, she carried me for 9 months, and then she held me for 1 hour, and she gave me up for adoption. And I was adopted by some Midwestern Finnish parents. Spoke Finnish in our house. And they had 3 kids of their own, and then they decided to adopt myself and another African American son. And I grew up in this very mixed house, and my mother had us 5 kids, and she'd go to school every day. She was a school teacher. She taught primary education in the public school system in California for 30 years. And every day she'd go to school, she'd teach 30 kids, then she'd come home to us 5 kids, and we'd be like duct taping each other to the couch, you know, and shoving M&Ms up each other's noses. And my mom would get us untied, you know, and she'd pluck the M&Ms out of our noses. We would we'd wash them off and then we'd eat them. Normal kid stuff, you know. But I grew up in this house. It was a very, very diverse household. I have one brother who's a police officer, a sister who's an art teacher, one sister who's lesbian, been with the same woman for 35 years. I have another brother who was a biologist. And all of them played musical instruments, had different ideas about the world, different skills. And my mom, who was the hub, she's a very tiny woman. My mother's 5 foot tall, and I'm 6'6". Which led to some very interesting situations, like we'd go shopping in the grocery store, and there'd be this tiny little white lady pushing this shopping cart around. Actually, it was more like this. And followed by this big brown kid behind her. And my mom would say, "Michael, could you reach up on the top shelf and grab that organic macaroni and cheese for me?" I go, "Here you go, Mom." That was when I was 6. And, but my mother had some values that she taught us. And the first one was that even though all of us kids were very different and different ideas about the world, different sizes and shapes and colors, my mom was insistent that all of us kids be treated the same. And it didn't mean that we all were given the same things or had to do the same things or forced. It just meant that we were all given the same opportunities to succeed. So if you had a love or a desire to try a sport or an art or something, or an instrument, my mom would do everything she could on her teacher's salary to make sure that all 5 of us kids had those opportunities. And second thing was that she was insistent that when we went out into our neighborhoods, that we treated other kids the way that we wanted to be treated. And it didn't matter if they went to another school or a mosque or church or synagogue or spoke a different language, different color. We were supposed to treat other kids the way we wanted to be treated. And the final thing is when I had my first son, I asked my mom, I said, you know, you had 3 kids of your own. Why is it that you decided to adopt 2 more kids? And she said, you know, Michael, I grew up in a really big family. I grew up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin. Go dairy farms! Cheese, we know about that. A lot of cheese in our house. She said that there was a lot of kids that she had heard about in our country who went to sleep not knowing whether they were going to wake up the next night and go to sleep in the same bed the next day. And then she wanted to give kids that opportunity. So I want to say, and just acknowledge all the people who are out there who have adopted kids or are thinking about adopting kids. It's a really good thing to do. And I said, Mom, do you have a philosophy about parenting? And my mom said, my philosophy about parenting is to give all our kids wings. And what that meant was, she said, that didn't mean that I did everything for you. It means that I would teach you how to cook dinner, and then I expected you to cook your own dinners. I'd teach you how to do the laundry, expected you to do your own laundry. I'd show you and help you with your homework, and then I expected you to do it yourself. So that when you got out of the house, that you were able to function on those basic levels, that those things would be easy for you, so that you could reserve your time and your mind space for much higher creative things, more magical things, spiritual things. And so I want to thank my mom for giving me wings. I want to thank all the parents who are here tonight for giving all these amazing kids wings. And I'm going to play this last song for you. It's another brand new song. And then we're going to rock out to some music. It goes like this.
Wow, I mean, just what a story to be listening to, standing that close to him. It was very moving, and it got me the idea that if I had a chance, I had to go and say something to him, to tell him about Kevin and our family. And then, as he's finishing up the last song, Michael invites anyone to come up to the stage that wants to come up to the stage, and the people around me, Rachel jumps up on stage, so I follow right behind, and I make my way up to him, and I lean over and I say, hey, Michael, can I show you a picture of my adopted biracial son, Kevin? He looked at me and his eyes opened up, and he just said, yeah, that'd be great. So what picture do I show him? Of course, I pick out Kevin getting his tattoo, and he thought that was awesome, and I shared a little bit about the story of the tattoo, and he said, hold on, and he reached into his pocket, and he said, this is for Kevin, give this to him, and he pulled out a guitar pick from the concert that night and gave it to me, and that's the lasting memory I have of Michael Franti up on stage. We finished with a selfie. It took me about 3 tries because I was so nervous. Awesome night. It was just so cool, and wanted to share that. Sorry, Claire, I don't want it to seem like I was leaving you out. Just felt like a better connection with Kevin, and I didn't have all day up there with them to chat and show him every picture I had on my phone. Sorry about that.
I've been a lot of places all around the way. I've seen a lot of joy and I've seen a lot of pain, but I don't want to write a love song for the world. I just want to write a song about a boy and a girl. Junkies on the corner always calling my name, and the kids on the corner playing ghetto games. When I saw you getting down, really hoping it was you, and when I looked into your eyes, I knew it was true. I said,
one last song by Michael Franti.
It ain't up to you. You always think it's gonna happen to another person, and it's never ever gonna happen to you. You got your friends, you got your money, got your family, got your honey, and you think you got a million babies. But then life comes along and it knocks you right down to the ground. And that's why I say that everybody ought to hug somebody at least once a day. And everybody ought to kiss somebody at least once a day. Everybody's gonna miss somebody at least once a day. And everybody gotta love somebody every day. And we all will rise up, 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 and we all will rise up. Are you ready, y'all? Put your hands up high, come on now.
you got a million days. If your life comes along and it knocks you right down to the ground, and that's why I say that everybody ought to hug somebody at least once a day. Go ahead and hug somebody. Everybody ought to kiss somebody at least once a day. Everybody's gonna kiss somebody at least once a day. And everybody ought to love somebody every day. And we all will rise up. Let me hear you. And we all will rise up. 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 I heard the purpose of life is to live a life of the purpose, and so don't ever take for granted what the Spirit is given. In the first verse, you might never get a second verse. This ain't rehearsal, you can't put it in reverse. So just believe in yourself. Don't be nobody being negative. I'm telling you what to do. Cause I know in this sweet, sweet life that just this much is true. Hey, everybody ought to hug somebody at least once a day. Everybody ought to kiss somebody at least once a day. Everybody's gonna miss somebody at least once a day. And everybody gotta love somebody. Put your hands on somebody at least once a day. Everybody ought to kiss somebody at least once a day. Everybody's gonna miss somebody at least once a day. And everybody gotta love